mentioned, learning a language, and more so writing in a language, is always a very difficult process. And as you write, I forget where you write that it required a lot of discipline, uh, training yourself, and I use the word training advisedly, training yourself to first read, know the language, and then to write in it. Will you tell us a little bit about that process, that discipline that you imposed on yourself? We come to our mother tongue, in your case also English. We actually don't discipline ourselves to learn it. It kind of comes naturally. Like English came to you, like whoever speaks or writes in the mother tongues, it comes kind of naturally. There's some discipline, of course, as you begin to write, but acquiring it does not need the discipline. In this case, you acquired Italian and then became so immersed in it that you could write it. You felt confident enough to write in it. What kind of discipline did this entail? Just ensure hours of routine and things. That's why I say it's a very nitty-gritty question.
Yeah, I mean, two things. I'll answer your question, but I would just like to back up by saying this question of the effort to acquire language, that has been a constant in my life. Because so the first language I ever spoke was Bangla, and that was learned by however we learn, by mimicking the people who speak to us. So I learned that language. But then, because I was raised in the United States and I never went to school and it was educated in Bangla, so there remained a kind of effort in any case to understand exactly what people were saying, because though I understand pretty much everything people are saying, there are all of these words I really don't know what they mean in Bangla, in that upper register of the language, which my parents didn't really use that much in our everyday conversation, but once in a while they would tuck in one of these words and I would say, Otar maneki, and I still have to do that, because I don't have a full comprehension of the language, even though it's my first language. So that effort is going on. Even now, sometimes my father and I will have a conversation and he'll say some word, and I'll say, wait, what does that mean, right? And he'll say, oh, it means, and then he'll use a synonym for it, like it means Iraq or whatever, but he'll use a more nuanced term that is, I don't have access to. Then there was the effort of learning English, which I remember quite clearly as a child, because I didn't know English, and I would, my mother would turn on the television and she would say, watch it and listen, and you learn this language because you needed to go to school, right? So that I also never took for granted, right? That I had to somehow open the door and get inside of that language. So this is just to preface the experience of going into the tunnel of Italian, which was, clearly the biggest effort of all, because I was a much older person. And as we know, children absorb languages in a way that adults just simply don't, because of the way the brain works. And so what did I do? I mean, first, when I really got serious about studying Italian, I had learned some Italian in my 20s as a grad student, and it was relatively easy for me because I had studied Latin and I'd studied French, and it was like, okay, I could, a couple of years of Italian was not strenuous.